just thinking, hope you're okay. I hope you're all doing well and that your health is good. I was just thinking, because you've seen in a past vlog of mine that it's just I have a bag here, the plastic bag, that I had mentioned that we went in to do our living trust, and I don't know if it's because I've had that information, that thinking about that, or what, things are coming up on my phone, because I just had something come up asking me on my Facebook if I want to have somebody control my Facebook when I pass, or memorialize my Facebook, or I don't know. So I'm just, I don't know. I don't think that my husband wants to manage my Facebook when I pass, but I don't know if he wants it to be completely gone, if he wants the information to remain on there, or doesn't matter, does he? I don't know. He's went out for a walk, so those are more things that you need to, if you have a significant other, or if anything in the family, like parents and siblings that you speak to, what are their thoughts along with it for you? You may be quite younger than I am, and it's not a big deal right now, but it's always something that you got to keep in the back of your mind. Everybody could go at any time. So I didn't want to start out with that, but this is going to be a vlog where I do talk to you about what happened to me and why I'm on oxygen. So we'll get to that. I'm gonna drink my water during all of this. Okay. It started out that I was at my parents' house, and my parents have passed. So just to let you know, this was a while ago. I was reading the newspaper. This was January. It was after the holidays, just barely after all the holidays, January 3rd of 2003. And I was reading the newspaper, and because, you know, you had newspapers then, there wasn't just to look at it on your phone. I set that down and I went into the bathroom. I came out, my husband was in the computer room. I did not recall any of this. After I set the paper down and went into the bathroom, I have no recollection of what happened after this. My husband says, excuse me, that I went into the computer room and I was holding my throat, saying that I couldn't breathe. So they had to call the ambulance. They couldn't get me to breathe. They couldn't do CPR to anything to get me to breathe. So they had to intubate me, which is taking a tube and putting it down your throat into your lungs so that it pushes air in there so that you breathe. So I was intubated right away. And that saved me to where, you know, there was no damage to my brain, fortunately. And I was in the hospital they kept me sedated, asleep for quite some time. I was in the hospital for a month, and that made me pretty weak, and I got a blood clot behind my knee. So what happened was, it was 11:30 at night, so it was later at night. One of the nurses' aides came in, said the head nurse told her to have me come in, or have her come in, have me take off my oxygen for 15 minutes, and then proceed to walk across the hallway. And it was not like way across, it was to where there was a picture. There was a hallway between me and the bed and the room, and then a little bit of a hallway back to the bed. So I walked from my bed into the hallway to this picture back to my bed. So I walked, and there was a walker that I had in the room, but I wasn't supposed to walk without having the physical therapist there with me. This nurse was not a physical therapist. She was just a nurse there at the hospital. So, having no belt around me, I walked with the walker out the door. And mind you, I questioned this the whole way through. Why are you having me do this? And came back, and I fell because I had that blood clot behind my knee. I fell right in front of the bathroom door, my head just barely almost hitting that door frame. Landed flat on the cement. And so that caused some major issues in my back, to where I didn't know at that time, but I was 29 years old at this time, but I had severe osteoporosis. So that messed up my back, and to this day I've had issues with my back pain, and that's why I am all in pain most of the time, and have to be on a regimen of medicine in order to help that pain. So there's that. So with that, having that cardiac arrest, I was in the hospital a month, and then I went to a rehabilitation center for 2 weeks after that. So what I did was I went home, had dealing with pain, going to different doctors for the pain, then finally going to a pain specialist for the pain. And then I got pneumonia. And they did what they did I went to the hospital, and they did what they did to help me out there. And I went home, and I was okay, just started going on with my life again. And then, I'm not sure how much later this was. It could have been like a year, I'm not sure, later, something like that. I got pneumonia again. And after that one, that second time with pneumonia, I had to go on oxygen. I couldn't get off of oxygen once I went to the hospital, and they put you on oxygen. Just usually when you're at the hospital, if you're low on oxygen, you're on oxygen at the hospital. And I was, and I couldn't get off of it. They sent me home with oxygen, and that was in 2015, and I've been on oxygen ever since. So that's my big long story of why I'm on oxygen. And they did test me. I went in to a doctor, tested my lung capacity, said that what happened to me is when I went through the cardiac arrest, it took, and I didn't get oxygen to the lower extremities of my body. And one thing I didn't tell you about, because this is a huge long ordeal that I went through all of this, one thing I didn't tell you about is when I was in the hospital the first time after I had that first cardiac arrest, when I was healing, then they found out that my intestines, some of it didn't get the oxygen to it, and they died. So I had some of my intestines that, you know, this is alert for, you know, my feces were going throughout my body. And so it was like killing me. So they had to take me in for emergency surgery and fix that intestine. And it was very fortunate that I didn't come out with having a bag, where a bag on the side of you that your feces goes into. They were able to take what intestines were left of me and reattach them so that I was able to, you know, go to bathroom feces okay after that. So anyway, because I had that happen to me, there was another part of me that got injured during that cardiac arrest, and that was my lungs. And I didn't get, you know, enough oxygen at the time when I went through cardiac arrest to the lower extremities of my lungs. And so I can't get, after going through which put my body down for a little bit, sorry, the 2 times, something is in my eye, the 2 times that I was in, or that I had pneumonia, that hurt my lungs even further and made it so that those lungs that were already compromised just got worse. So now I'm on this permanently, and that's my story. That's why, and here I am today with everything. So yeah, so I don't want to take any more of your time. I thank you for staying, listening, being here with me along my journey, and you have a fabulous day today. Love you all. Bye-bye.